Standing in the wake of this train wreck, my heart is beating faster in my chest. This depression terrifies me. When I'm awake, it's like these thoughts, they paralyze me. I don't wanna feel like this. I don't wanna feel like this. Time stops, weightless and cold. Silence burns like fire while my fears unfold. There's panic. Tooth to my cheek, too hard to speak without you. Lungs drained of air, life feels unfair without you. Come back to me, don't leave me to dream about you, dream about you, dream about you. How can I breathe without you? How can I breathe without you? Without you, what is left to say when the sky falls? I'm staring at your ghost in the stars. There's not a day that I don't miss you. The feeling swelling overflow. It's like I see you, hear you. I don't wanna feel like this. Why do I still feel like this? Heart ripped out of my brain. I sit here talking to myself. I think I'm going insane. Tooth to my cheek, too hard to speak without you. Lungs drained of air, life feels unfair without you. Come back to me, don't leave me to dream about you, dream about you, dream about you. How can I breathe without you? How can I breathe without you? The only way to fix this, the only way to fix this pain inside, the only way to fix this is a deep breath in as you say goodbye.
I kick ass for the Lord.
What about me?
I never loved him the way that I love you. Just drops the mic.
Bit me with his butt.
Can't see it from here.
What about the panty?
What about the panty? What's up, Butters? You're not doing anything. You didn't do anything fun. Oh, there it goes. He's eating some Grippos potato chips. Look at him, folks. Hello and welcome in. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. This is our penultimate episode of season 1 of 52 Slash. We're doing the year 1993 here, and we're happy to have you. If you're here, if you're joining us later, we're happy to have you too. Just want to let you know what we're doing here. Welcome to 52/1993, the live movie conversation podcast where we discuss movies from the year 1993. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm joined by my co-host this week on a strange Thursday night stream, but with the holidays, Joseph. Welcome in, Joseph. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, you putz.
Yeah, putz. Morning, dickhead. This is your first time joining us. Welcome in. Happy for you to join us today. Just to give you a little heads up, what we do is we watch movies from the year 1993, 52 of them, in fact, important movies released this year by their weekend releases. Doesn't matter if they're good, doesn't matter if they're bad. It just matters that they're getting watched here. And then I have my guest host on to talk about the movie, go through some questions just to kind of keep us on track, and then see what they're watching at the end of it all. So if you can't get the premise from that, then I don't know what to tell you. But
Get out
you're
of
looking
here.
good, my man.
Thanks, man. I got my new glasses.
Yeah, I was about to say you're rocking some glasses here. Is that a new beanie?
Probably, yeah. Since a previous stream, it's been acquired. So yeah,
What's your sweatshirt that you're wearing there?
free throw.
Free
It's a
throw.
band. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
They're just getting some.
They're
free
Nashville boys.
guys. They're Nashville boys.
Yeah, Nashville boys.
Okay. Well, you're a Chattanooga boy, so. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to expose your
Wow.
your
Location
location.
is
I just
on.
doxed you. My bad. Ugh, I'm so
I
sorry.
have so many people showing up. I just gave a hint about where you're from. I didn't straight up blast it, you know.
Oh, well, I don't care. Come and visit me. I don't give a shit. Everybody in the world, come on over. I've got some
Cardiac weight teeth.
I've got some LaCroix for you guys, so
Hey, I know a couple people that would
be all
that
about
would be a
that.
selling point. Yeah.
Well, it's 7:00 on a Wednesday or Thursday. My bad. Don't want to give us earlier in the week. And we're here to talk about grumpy old men.
Yes, we are. And maybe to also be some. Who knows?
That's what I put as the the notification. It's like this stream is about us. So it is.
I mean, it works. Yeah.
I'm not feeling too grumpy tonight.
I'm a little grumpy.
But if you push it,
I might.
get
I
there.
usually do.
You push my buttons. You're a little grump
I'll
dar.
push you right out on the ice there, my guy.
Oh man.
Watch it.
Is this okay? Before we get in, is this the coldest movie that we've seen this year?
Has to be.
I was cold watching this.
It has to be. Like that's deep Minnesota, like on location, right? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of any other contenders.
I've tried to think about this too, and nothing like springs to mind that this. And my sister lives in Minnesota now, and she's like, "Come visit me," and I say, "Hell no! You live in Minnesota. That's
You love the cold.
the cold never bothered me anyway." Have you ever seen this movie before?
So I have to confess something.
You didn't watch it.
No. That would be awesome.
That would
But
be
no.
incredible.
In my head, this whole time, the movie I was thinking about was 12 Angry Men, not Grumpy Old Men. So I was very surprised when I sat down to watch this movie, basically because I'm an idiot. But I don't recall seeing it all the way through. I definitely recognize pieces, or maybe that's just like, you know, my brain mixing with Dennis the Menace, but because that's like the big Walter for me. But anyways, we'll say no. Long answer, no.
Okay. I'm glad you thought this movie was.
They're pretty much the same movie, so you know.
Jack Lemmon was actually in a remake of 12 Angry Men, so maybe that's where you're getting a little.
Maybe that's where my head's at. I don't know. It was
That was Bruce Willis the whole time. Oh,
the whole time.
he was dead the whole time.
The whole time.
At first, I thought he was making a really bad, like Bruce Willis dementia joke, and I was like, "Hey, man,
Hey man.
hey, man."
Not on my watch.
No, I don't really care that much about Bruce Willis, but not on my watch. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this movie a little bit and get into it. Again, the movie's title is Grumpy Old Men. It came out on Christmas, 1993. It was directed by Donald Petrie, who also went on to go do some other, I would say, like, kind of in the same vein, like kind of funny, middle of the road, like not really breaking any barriers or any like doing anything amazing or anything, but like Miss Congeniality, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like some solid rom-coms, fun stuff
Yeah.
there. And it was written by Mark Steven Johnson, who directed some of the best Marvel movies of all time, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and also my favorite Marvel supervillain movie, Simon Birch.
That's your favorite, huh?
It's my favorite Simon.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
Dude, he murders a woman. Simon Birch is a killer. For everybody that hasn't
Or is
seen
he a
the
hero?
movie, he's an anti-hero, just like Taylor
Anti-hero. There we go. That works.
Taylor Swift and the Punisher. This movie has a cast of Jack Lemmon as John Gustafson, Walter Matthau as Max Goldman, Anne Margaret as Ariel Truax, Burgess Meredith as the father, or Pops, or Pops, whatever you want to call him. Daryl Hannah as Melanie, Kevin Pollak as Jacob, Ossie Davis as Chuck, Buck Henry as the IRS agent, and then Christopher McDonald, aka Shooter McGavin, in here as the ex or soon to be
For like
ex-husband
3
Mike.
minutes.
Yeah, he's in this very briefly. Let me give you a synopsis of this movie. John Gustafson and Max Goldman are two curmudgeonly neighbors who have been at each other's throats for years. The rivalry of the former friends intensifies when Ariel comes along and provides a love interest for both of them. When Max finds out that John is experiencing family troubles and financial ruin, however, he steps in to help. The bond is further cemented when John has a health scare and Max makes the ultimate sacrifice for his friend. I don't know what the ultimate sacrifice is. Okay, I can guess. Whatever. This movie had a budget of $35 million, which is $10 million more than Tombstone. Crazy.
Dang.
But it also made $80.5 million at the box office.
For all the
Rotten
hand
Tomatoes.
warmers.
It was all in hand warmers and shooting on location in Minnesota. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 64%. IMDb has a score of 7.0 out of 10. Letterboxd gives it a 3.3 out of 5. Couple reviews for you here. The movie is too pat and practiced to really be convincing, and the progress of Ariel's relationships with the two grumps seems dictated mostly by the needs of the screenplay. That was Roger Ebert. He gave it 2 out of 4 stars, so not the biggest fan. While it won't come close to my top 10 best list for 1993, it'll be right up there among the pictures that I had the most fun watching. And that was James Berardinelli. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
I thought that was just you like saying how you felt about it for a second. Because like
I don't think it's in my top 10 best list. I'll tell you that.
thought you're about to quote yourself.
Yes, that was Cody Waits, this podcast, and I'm important. This actually, so usually I don't have a lot to say for like a legacy, but this movie went on to spawn a sequel with everybody reprising their roles, and it's called Grumpier Old Men.
Mm.
So that's pretty great. And then it adds in, oh gosh, I can't even remember what her name is, but it adds in a foreign actress, another older foreign actress, Sophia Loren. I think she comes in to play Walter Matthau's love interest in the movie. So
Definitely haven't seen that one.
well, we'll need to watch it for when this podcast is still going in 2 years. We'll watch Grumpier Old Men.
Yeah. Why not grumpier older men though? You know,
Well, grumpy older men.
grumpy older men, grumpier older men. I don't know.
What about grumpy old menner?
Ooh,
Perfect.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Or if one of them dies, just grumpy old man.
Oh, grumpy old lonely man.
One man. So yeah. What did you before we like pop into? What did you think like initially when you watched? Because this,
liked it
like
a
you
lot.
said, first time you liked it a lot.
Yeah, it did have like to Roger's criticism's point. Whew, that was too much. It did have a lot of like forced elements. I felt like, particularly with the woman. But it was a lot of fun. I laughed a ton. It's kind of that sweet spot of '90s humor for me, where like there's a lot of like just zingers that you know make me smile, and it wasn't riveting by any means, but I was chuckling throughout the whole thing.
That's what I said too. Like, there's just some really good one-liners in this movie that had me rolling. I was like, man, old men are so funny.
I think it's like I'm going to speak for myself and not you. I have several friendships that are like, you jab at people out of love, which is like basically the whole movie between these guys. So like, it feels right up my alley.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I never say anything mean to anybody that I like.
So it didn't.
I only say really, really mean and hurtful things to people that I really don't like.
See, I like to confuse people and like make them think that I hate them, but actually love them and like want to, buy their house back for them. That's just me.
No, heart on my sleeve. I hate you, and I'm telling you,
he's a straight shooter.
I'm a straight shooter, guys. All right, let's talk about this movie a little bit. So let's talk about some of the scenes that really make this movie, or like
you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it. Go for it. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Oh gosh, floor for me. Whew. This was okay. So I feel like there's only like a couple of like big scenes. There's a lot of just like quick scenes throughout the movie. So I guess number one for me would be pretty far into the movie after Ariel has come onto the scene and she just like shows up at John's door.
I put that as my John and Ariel get to. Is this after she's moved in, but not?
Yeah, she's like fresh to the neighborhood, but
okay, so she's still new. Never mind.
Oh, okay, you're talking about later on.
No, yeah, I have both of this. So Ariel moving in is just like that was my first scene.
Okay,
and them like spying on her and her doing some really weird shit in here.
Always
just stealing mail. Getting a sauna and like just running out into the snow for no reason.
She's kooky, man.
She is kooky. She's weird.
She needs to be with crazy old Maurice from Beauty and the Beast. Is what she needs to be doing.
Crazy old Maurice. No, yes. So she moves in. John and Max are investigating, like. Just being like, who the hell is this? And calling dibs, I guess. Although they really don't call dibs right away.
No one ever calls dibs.
Nobody. If dibs were called,
end of movie.
End of movie. Movie's over.
Moral of the story: call dibs. All you
I mean,
viewers and
I think
listeners.
Walter Matthau does call dibs at one point. After he puts the guy's shanty in the lake, he's like, "She's mine, man. Let
She's
her
mine.
let her
Yeah.
go." He's like, "Yeah, whatever, fine." But yeah, no. Ariel moving in. She's obviously. It seems like she's pretty wealthy, and which is something I want to bring up at the end of this movie.
The literature teacher that's wealthy.
Yeah,
Is that
but
her?
her husband died, so
Oh, okay.
maybe she got a lot. But she's got like statues. She's getting a sauna put in, an outdoor sauna for her. She's kooky. She walks into other people's houses, steals their mail, goes into their personal bathrooms.
That was the weirdest one. by
That was
far.
the weird one for you? Was her going
Yeah.
to the bathroom? I do that shit at
Just-
other people's houses all the time.
But you don't show up at someone's house just to use their bathroom.
And
not their
That's
guest
what I
bat-
should
like-
start.
Their
I'm gonna start
personal
doing
bathroom. He's like trying to get her to go to the guest bathroom, and she's like, "No, I'm good." Just strolls straight upstairs to his like personal bathroom. So it's like, it's a glaring like I am here to invade your privacy and like
Yeah.
snoop around about you. And I was just like, nah. Mm-mm.
No, whenever I go to somebody's house, I go through their refrigerator and I go to their bathroom and I look at
Refrigerator's
all of,
normal.
and then I go. That is just a nervous thing, I think, for me. I walk into somebody's bathroom, I just open up, or not their bathroom. I go to their kitchen, I open up their refrigerator. I don't even know why I do it. It's just a habit. I'm just like, oh, look at that.
What you got in here?
What you got in here, man?
It's curiosity,
So,
man.
I don't know.
The
That's just
refrigerator
something I
thing is normal to me, but like the bathroom's a little bit weirder because like, what's?
But
in
I'll
there?
be-
I mean,
I'll be
you
honest.
checking
I've been
out
on.
Ned's?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You stealing his drugs?
I'm not steal. Okay. I will say this: I've not stolen any drugs from anybody in a bathroom before, but I will look and see what your crazy pills are,
Wow.
so I can know what I'm getting into, man.
Dude. You're Ariel.
I am Ariel a little bit.
Wow. I had no idea.
I gotta look at your stuff. Sometimes I take a shower in there, a little one, short one.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
normal.
even more normal to shower up before whatever's about to happen.
Sometimes before I leave, I will fold the toilet paper in such a way as to feel like it's special.
Like a hotel, the first
Mhm.
roll at a hotel, just
Yep.
like
It's like triangled off. It looks like a little.
origami together. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you got
you
some
want me
quirks,
to
is
go
what I'm hearing.
yeah, you want me to go into your bathroom. It's gonna look great.
Yeah. I mean, redecorate, I guess.
Yeah. So Ariel, who is
She
me, she wild. And like all of the men in the town seem like infatuated with her. Obviously, she's like, let's be honest, she's a hottie. I think she's a hottie.
She's a hottie. Yeah.
She's a hottie.
She's strutting it. Everybody wants her.
Everybody, I love the scene where they go into the pharmacy and Max and John are in the pharmacy comparing their illnesses and their aches, which is very funny. And then she comes in getting like some basically like essential oils or something like that. And the pharmacist is like in love with her too. And the pharmacist's wife is just standing over there like, what the hell?
Right? Just only woman gets no attention. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only like 3 women in this entire movie.
All the men are just thunderstruck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess. How small of a town do you think we're talking here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I feel like that makes more of an impact. If it's like real small, somebody new shows up, like the excitement is more understandable. But if we're talking about
Wabasha, city in Minnesota. It's an actual real city in Minnesota.
Wabasha, okay.
Wabasha. It has a population as of 2021 of 2,487 people.
Wow. So 93. I mean, you're talking. Wait, was this supposed to be like in the 90s, or was this supposed to be older?
No, I think it takes place in the 90s.
Okay. So we're probably talking like
I can tell you almost exactly what
1,200
it
to
was.
1,500 people in the 90s.
No, it's pretty much held at like 2,300 in 1990 was the population.
Okay.
So
I guess
It's
that's pretty
located-
small, like for a new person to come in and
I mean,
Shake
that's
things
pretty
up.
small. Yeah, like I would say that's about the size of my hometown.
out in the
Maybe.
boons.
And out in the boondocks, man. Maybe that's smaller. My town might be smaller, but
It's like
it's located-
2,300. It's
yeah,
2,300 is like a substantial, like small town size.
yeah.
Right?
My hometown has about 1,500 people in it, so
Okay.
a little bit bigger than that. But it's located right on the Mississippi River, and just from Googling, they now hold every February 23rd and 24th. They hold a Grumpy Old Men festival.
Awesome.
So now that has been added to things that I want to do in my life.
Yep. So
Um,
when did you say Grumpier Old Men is?
Grumpy Old Men's in 1995,
2025. So add it to the calendar. We're gonna
and it looks like there's a like a polar bear plunge, but it's a grumpy plunge,
which means
which means that they jump into the frozen river
with their
I don't know.
flannels.
in their flannels, I guess. They also have a gun raffle, so we can get into that. There's like 10 guns here you can win.
Ooh.
A pallet of beer that you can win at this raffle. So this sounds like a good time.
Sounds
Like
like
we're making
fun.
it. Maybe I will go visit my my sister and see how far she lives from Wabasha.
Wabasha. She might live in Wabasha for all you know.
I don't think she lives in Wabasha. So Grumpy Plunge, yeah. People just get in the icy lake.
You heard it
I'm
here
into it.
first, people.
You've heard it here
2025,
first.
Grumpy Plunge. All you subscribers, meet us there.
All my subs, my followers. We're going to
We're gonna
Wabasha.
make a day of it.
I gotta see now. Now I gotta see Minnesota to where my sister lives. How far it is? It's only an hour and a half.
Ooh, that's nothing. That's a day
Yeah,
trip.
we'll just all of us, everybody watching, everybody listening. We're gonna stay at my sister's house, and then we'll go an hour and a half to this place. Done. We're good.
Done. What are we talking? What's tickets looking like?
Oh, I don't know. I can't even see the price of they haven't released the tickets for this year yet. So,
Okay,
but
TBD.
TBD. It's a good thing to be is D. TBD. All right.
Better than TB.
We talked about TB in the last stream.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, a lot of TB.
With all sweaty, man.
Yeah. Okay. So we went from probably one of the hottest movies, maybe
Honestly,
to the coldest movie of the year.
is that going to be one of your superlatives? Largest climate change?
I mean, it's this right here. It's Tombstone to Grumpy Old Men. Easy. It's won. It gets the award. The only thing that could be hotter is probably that Michael Douglas movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where he was. Yeah. That was hot. What? L.A. Was that L.A.?
Yeah. L.A. during a heat wave.
L.A. heat waves. Yeah, that's comparable, maybe.
Yeah. Falling up, or is it falling?
Yeah.
Falling
I
down.
think that's right. Falling up.
Is it falling up? I can't even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's falling up.
Falling down is what it's called. I just looked
Falling
it
up, right?
It's standing up, falling down,
Oh. Sometimes I get my
ups and downs. It's the troubles with the elevator industry. It has its ups and downs.
Wow.
All right, what's your next scene?
I love the aside though, and I
Yeah,
love the
yeah.
plans that we've made.
Oh, we've made some
Um,
serious plans.
So after the first aerial weird thing, let's see. Next after that, I think I had the montage when they're like, okay, so somebody has already like gone over and like hung out. Chuck has already gone
Chuck,
over and hung out with
yeah.
her, and then they both like are like, oh, now it's time to shoot our shot. So
Mhm.
that whole like montage of them like getting all readied up for their their meeting with Ariel to try to secure a date. That was my next favorite scene.
I love though that when she goes out with Max and they hang out, she like very firmly is like, "Oh, you're a great friend."
Friend,
Like
instant friend zone.
kisses him on the cheek. But then when she gets with homeboy,
Johnny.
John, when she gets with John, she's like having a good time. This is the scene where I just put they get to know each other in a
Yes,
biblical sense.
very biblically.
Very
Yes.
biblically. But I
Mhm.
love this. Well, again, I wish I had another superlative that was movies that are still hotter than Age of Innocence, like sexier than Age of Innocence. Because this movie gets it too. Like she's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go to bed," and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe next time, you know." And I love it. Like she's locking his door. Oh, I love that. It's
Yeah.
like, damn,
All
son,
right. All right.
get it. Get it.
Again, though, that started really weird with him coming home, and she has like broken into his place, and she's just cooking. Like she's just going at it. Like doesn't know what he likes to eat. Just B&E cooking, man. Like
She's got some boundary issues.
yeah, big time.
But would you hate it?
Um, I mean, I love Szechuan, so definitely would not hate that. But it would be weird. Like,
It would be weird,
yeah,
yes.
I don't want to come home and just like somebody's in my house.
Yeah.
But maybe when I'm, a
But if she
grumpy
had
old
red
man in
hair.
my life. I mean, I love my redheads, so
I know, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm open to the possibility. My first instinct is nah.
Because she might be psycho.
Yeah. She puts off a lot of psycho vibes.
Yeah,
But
she
she's also
gives me
very endearing at the same time. So maybe just bipolar. I don't know. Man.
don't they reference in this movie? I feel like they do. That they like she's giving off like Fatal Attraction vibes.
Yes, they do say something about Fatal Attraction. I can't remember who says it.
I think it's
definitely
Max.
there though.
I feel like it's
And
definitely
maybe
Max.
Donahue too.
Oh yeah, that's true. So
It's kind of yeah.
I don't know. I like this. I feel like they have really good chemistry. I like Jack Lemmon and her together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do great. It's
do
a
really
it's a it's a lot better than like her and Max. Like they did a very good job. Even if she hadn't said like friend, like you can tell from
Yeah.
their interactions that it's very different. So they did a good job with that.
The only thing I would add, like, is I guess with the title and everything, I don't know. Like, I feel like they bounce around with Ariel too much. Like, I don't ever get any good like. I don't feel like we get enough like solid storyline with Ariel.
No,
No.
that's one of my biggest complaints with the movie is like she's more of just like a prop or a plot device than like a person.
Like I think that if the movie was solely like back and forth Max versus John to try and win this woman's affection. We've seen that movie before, you see two men going after the same woman plenty of times. but I thought that's what this movie was going to be, and it's less about that and more about like,
More about them.
yeah. So it got a little confusing. Not confusing. I understood the movie, but I think the movie was confused about what it was trying to do.
Just you're a buddy comedy. Just accept it. Like
Yeah,
that's
just
what
accept it. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's jump to the next one.
Next one. Let's see. Oh, next one for me. I guess would be like when Chuck passed away, and then like all the aftermath. It was really like kind of glossed over, but I felt like it was kind of like a critical point in the movie where it just had a more important tone, like for a few minutes,
Mhm.
as to like with the zingers and everything, and just all the chaotic comedy and pranks that they're doing on each other. Like this was like kind of the first like real moment where like oh man, our friend's dead. Like we're up there too. Like and
Ariel
then
was
just, like,
weird about that too.
big time.
She was like, "Let's just cherish the time we had with our friend," or whatever she said.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah. And then it like led straight into like the first like time that John came face to face with like the IRS dude too, like
Mhm.
all in one
Oh
swoop. there.
yeah.
So that it like was a big like tone shift in the movie. All of a sudden, it was like, oh okay, like now is important stuff is happening, and like a little bit heavy.
And what was the IRS situation? He owed like I don't know how much, 25 grand?
Taxes. Yeah, it was like 50 something after like all the interest and fees or
Penalties.
whatever. Originally, I think it was like 13 grand, uh, because he was getting some sort of work benefits that should have been taxed because his ex-wife, had a part-time job or something
Mhm.
like that. I don't understand taxes.
Yeah, it's all stupid because American taxes are dumb and the way that
Yeah.
we do them are stupid. So,
So
I know
because she had a job of some capacity, he was supposed to be paying all these taxes, and he didn't.
yeah.
Which apparently you get the strong sense that she was kind of a bitch, and was
Uh-huh.
unfaithful. So so who could blame him?
Yeah, that's a weird like side story too, I think.
Yeah,
Like his wife being like an awful person. I don't know, that was weird.
late development too. Like they don't even mention it until like
Mm-mm.
30 minutes left in the movie or something like that, and you're just
Yeah,
like, oh,
a lot
okay,
happens in the back half of this movie.
true.
We get the truck. I put truck meat fishing shanty.
Truck meat fishing shanty, love it, love
Um,
it.
yeah, so like they go out every day, I guess, and this fishing shanty and go ice fishing, which kind of sounds cool, but also I hate being cold, so it's probably not the coolest.
Yeah, I'm sure they have like cooler versions of it now. Like,
Yeah.
they're sitting in there with like these static, snowy TVs, and you know, um, I bet there's some decked out ones you could find now.
But it seems kind of cool. Like just be old and retired and then go out ice fishing and drill your
Mm,
hole and you have
doing
your
your
own
thing.
shanty. You can even shop out there. You've got that one woman that's selling like candy bars and shit. Sounds
Seems
pretty
fun.
cool. I'd do it.
I love the cold too, so I mean, that might be where I end up when I retire,
I'll never visit you.
except for the Grumpy Old Men
Oh
Festival
yeah, I'll come to the Grumpy Old Men Festival. That's right.
every
That's
year.
it. So I guess like Max finds out that John is like officially dating what's her face? Ariel.
Ariel.
And he gets pissed off about it because he stole his woman way back when they were kids and everything, which eventually became John's wife, and it's happening again. And I think John is like trying to be nice to him. He fixes his fishing rod that he found and broke, but he fixes it and gives it back to him. And Max doesn't care, so he takes his truck and just runs his fishing shanty into the lake.
Yep.
Which was pretty incredible. And then
Yeah.
like, I think I have it written down later, but they're like, I don't know if this is the scene where they're like yelling at each other and then they forget what they're yelling at each other about.
It's like right after, yeah.
Okay. I really like that.
It's also like he gets out of the truck and like goes to take a swing at him, and John just like gives him a quick dodge, and he just goes tumbling. Oh man, that sent me.
One thing I'll say is Jack Lemmon is way more limber as an old man. I don't know what their ages are comparatively, but like I feel like Jack Lemmon is able to like move around a lot, and Walter Matthau just seems like a sack of potatoes, just like
Yeah, it
trying
seems
to.
like. Yeah, if I had to guess, it seems like Max is like way older, or Walter is way
Yeah.
older than Jack Lemmon.
He's
but
only 5 years older than him.
only 5 years. Wow,
Yeah.
I would think a lot more than that.
So it was Walter Matthau was 73 in this movie, and so that means that Jack Lemmon was, what is that, 68?
68. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess 70s do. I mean, I don't know.
These are our parents' ages.
Yeah, we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah.
For all you parents out there who might be watching or listening,
None of my parents will watch this.
70s are very young.
Yes, they are. You're not a grumpy old man.
Well,
Yeah. Let's see. What's your next? Do you have anything else with this one? The truck meeting the fishing shanty?
no, I love. Oh, actually, I do. So this was kind of combination. Spoiler alert! Like my biggest, like, I guess, thrill, or because I loved like the whole like him just responding to his kindness with just like going so over the top. But at the very end of that, like they're scuffling on the ground again, he grabs like a frozen fish and like acts like he's gonna like stab him with like a fish sickle. Like and that was like the culmination of the fight there. And that also
I was
just sent me-
dying.
Oh man.
I was
The
dying.
fish-
That was
The
awesome.
fish knife. Yeah.
Fish knife is a good one.
Yeah.
What next? Let's see.
Let's see. I think the next thing I have is the stroke. There's definitely some like fill-ins.
Yeah, I have this too. So I have Christmas. Doesn't he have a heart attack? It's not
Is
a
it- yeah.
stroke.
I don't know.
It's not a stroke because at the beginning of the movie he said he didn't want to have a stroke. He'd rather take a cardiac arrest any day.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure
awesome. So it
uh,
was cardiac. Okay.
yeah, I think it was cardiac arrest.
That makes it
and-
better.
And then I also have like Melanie and Jacob, who are the Max and John's kids, and they're trying to like get them together. And then Melanie's husband Mike shows up to this Christmas dinner, and it's awkward. And
Yeah. He gets
Mac,
absolutely ripped by
Yeah.
John.
he brings it's such a cute moment though. She's like, "Oh, broccoli," and he's like, "I don't have mistletoe."
Yeah. It's like,
Poor guy. And then he gets the cheek kiss.
and that's when you know.
That's when you know Mike's here. Freaking Mike.
Freaking Mike, man.
But yeah, heart attack. Max goes to make up with him because it's Christmas and he's trying to be a nice guy.
Or
And
his son made him feel guilty.
oh yeah, his son made him feel guilty. I forgot about that.
Maybe a combination.
Yeah. And this is what causes John to walk home and then have a heart attack and everything. Does he say at this point that Does he give up Ariel at this point? He's like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't think we ever see like that conversation between them. But after the heart attack, and he goes to the hospital. So I guess this would be like probably like the crux of this scene for me. Like when he shows up at the hospital, and the nurse is like, he says he wants to visit John, and the nurse is like, "Oh, are you friend or family?" And he like gets like it like straight cuts him to his deepest innards. He's like
Mhm.
completely frozen. Like, oh, I guess we're friends. Like, and then from that point on, he's like, I'm gonna be an actual friend to this guy.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes to Ariel and's like, "Hey, we need to talk."
And then he brings her to the hospital, and she holds
Yeah.
his hand, and
Cutie. Yep.
cute stuff there.
All that cute stuff that happens.
And then I have the next thing is like while he's in the hospital, Max stops the IRS from like possessing his house or repossessing his house and all of his stuff inside. He like nails the door closed, and I forget what else he does there, but
The
the
prank, the snow on the roof prank
yeah,
that they
that's
had done
great.
before.
You
Where, like,
got to use hot water.
everyone yeah,
Also puts the fish in his car.
puts the fish in his car. Yeah,
Classic prank. I love it.
loves it's the true like old dad vibes, right? Like they're sticking with their go-to pranks. Like they're gonna keep using them because I mean,
If we ever go to Minnesota, we better watch out.
dude, I'm putting a fish in your car so fast.
I think that's something you would do.
Yeah, probably.
I think you would. But yeah, we got that. And then we also get this, what they set up to look like a funeral, but
Yes.
nobody believes it's a funeral. I didn't believe it was a funeral, obviously, but
Okay, they got me with that. No,
They
I
did?
didn't think it was John's funeral. I thought it was gonna be like somebody else, just like maybe Pops or something like
Yeah.
funeral. But yeah, not a funeral.
Sets it up to be a wedding. John and Ariel get married very quickly, I feel like, after getting to know each other, and then gets a fish in his car.
That's how you know it's real love.
That's real love. That's friendship, baby.
Fish in the car.
Fish in the car. What else? Do you have any other scenes that we might have missed, or
I think that's the highlights. There's a lot of little pieces in between that are super
Yeah.
funny.
especially when I come to like some of the quotes and stuff? I think. We'll
Oh
go
man,
over.
Pops! I
Well-
got Pops.
Which goes into my next thing. Who's your favorite character, or who do you think is the scene stealer?
Who do you think is my favorite character? Of course, it's
gotta be-
Pops.
It's got to be Pops,
It's gotta be.
he's firing on all cylinders, man.
Man,
Played by Burgess Meredith, probably most well known, older actor, obviously, but well known as Mick from Rocky. If you didn't know,
oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Dang. Okay. Wow.
yeah,
A little bit of a different role this time around.
yep, a little bit, but God, was he funny.
Man, he could have had a spinoff. Like he should have had a spinoff. I was laughing every time he showed up, and he probably doesn't have more than like what 20 minutes of screen time.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, but
But
everything that came out of that guy's mouth was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my
Bangers,
life.
yeah, nonstop.
And he was 83 in this movie, or
Dang.
80. No, let's see. Yeah, 83. No, I'm so bad at math. 85. 86. Even worse. He's 86 years old in this movie.
Mid 80s, we'll just say.
Yeah, mid 80s. Just given everything he's got in this movie, which I think leads to our next section of what's our favorite quotes.
Yep. I mean, we probably have
Probably
a
some of
lot
the
of
same ones. You go
yes.
first.
Okay. Yeah, Pops. I'll tell you what's on my mind. It's butt cold out here, and I'm out of beer.
I'll give you another
Butt
Pops one.
cold.
My favorite line in the entire movie was, "Looks like Chuck's taking old One Eye to the optometrist."
I wrote down a bunch of like the outtakes for that too, but that's
Oh my
still. I'm
God.
glad they used that one because
That one's the best one.
That's the
Taking
best
old
one.
One Eye to the. Did you write down some of the outtakes
gosh.
ones?
Oh yeah. I got. Let's see. Looks like he's taking Chuck to bury his boner. Looks like he's taking. Looks like Chuck's taking the old skin boat to Tuna Town. And looks like Chuck's taking a ride on the old baloney pony. Those are my favorites.
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
Yeah, I think there was 3 or 4 other ones in the outtakes too that were more like ones I had heard before, but all of those I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Let's see.
And
Do
then
I have it? Do I have any other Pops ones? I've got a good Pop section here. Where he's talking to John, his son. He says, "Did you mount her?" And John says, "No." He says, "Then what's the problem? If I was a young fella like you, I'd be mounting every woman in Wabasha."
He always says mounter too.
Did
Like
you
it comes
mount
up
her?
several times. He's like always uses mounter. That's like his choice phrase.
I'm pretty confident he would mount anybody in this
I think so.
movie. Because I think he even liked the girl that was selling stuff out at the lake.
Yeah, you get that sense.
Oh my gosh. Good for him.
Yeah.
86-year-old man, just horny as hell.
Just getting it, man.
All right, but Max and John do have their share of one-liners and things that they say to each other. Do you have any other grandpa or pop stuff?
Yeah, a couple other just Pops ones. I loved when they show him like with a flask in his hand one morning and he's like, "Hey, just finishing breakfast."
I forgot, as part of the "Did you mount her" thing, he asked, the next question he asked her is, "Well, does she have big thighs?" He says, "No, what's the problem then?"
Big thighs. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Does she have big thighs? Oh my gosh. Love Pops. The only other one I had from Pops was after he breaks up their fight, he's walking off and he says, "Kids, can't live with them, can't shoot them."
Can't shoot him. Oh God, he's so good. Yeah, that's all I have from Pops. But like every time he's on screen, you never know what he's gonna say, and it's usually something pretty amazing. So
yeah,
Pops is a highlight. Good shout out to Burgess Meredith for this, who was also the Penguin in the old Batman, like the Adam West Batmans.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing that he's famous for. That we might
Was he
know
still
him from.
alive for the sequel?
The sequel, as in like Batman.
Grumpy. No. Sorry.
Oh
Grumpier.
yes,
Oh man.
yes. That is one thing that I
Okay.
said. Like he is alive for Grumpier Old Men.
Okay. Cool.
Which I think came out in 95. So I'm pretty sure but that's like the last thing he does is Grumpier Old Men. So poor man, poor guy.
What a way to go out, you know?
Yep.
Probably
what a way to
saying a bunch of other crazy one-liners in that one, I'm assuming.
And he's butt cold out in
butt cold.
All right, give me some other quotes you got from Max and John, because I'm sure those are the next ones.
Yeah, I loved how Max said "Holy moly" all the time. You just don't hear that very often anymore. So that made me chuckle quite a bit. He also said "Eat my shorts" at one point, which you don't hear much anymore.
No,
Oh,
especially from an old man too.
yeah,
I
it's more
thought
like
that was
a.
kind.
Is that a Simpsons thing?
Yeah, I thought that's like
Okay,
what's his name? Bart Simpson thing. Eat my shorts. Yeah.
I thought so. So it's kind of cool to hear him say it. I don't have written down who's who here, but I do have a couple of other ones. Let me. Oh, so I know Max said this. He said at one point, "I'd rather kiss a dead moose's butt." When he was talking about, oh, when he was trying to convince him to go down there and to talk to John at the bar, he was like, "I'd
Mhm.
rather kiss a dead moose's butt." And then they cut to like the weatherman talking about a moose or something at the bar, which was really funny.
I
Um,
love I love the weatherman that's on the TV. I forget who says it, but it might be Max who's the weatherman's talking. He's just like, "Shut up, fat ass," or what? He's just talking to the TV. So good.
oh man.
I have Max saying, "When I had my ulcers, I was farting razor blades."
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of cringy from there, a little back and forth there. I was like, oh gosh.
Oh man. Um, John, I've laid more pipe in this town than Wabash of plumbing.
Well,
um, let's see. What else do we
the
have?
only other one I wrote down was just a cheesy pun. One of either Max or John said he's a regular Don Juan. No wonder the ladies don't want anything to do with you.
um, that's those are good. When Max is covering for John in front of the IRS man, he goes, "That man's crazy, loco, always hanging around those kinky strip bars. You know, the ones where the men take their clothes off. That's of course if he's taking his medication." And the guy says, "Yeah, medication." He's like, "Yeah, without it, he could be anywhere, wandering around, talking to trees. I'm telling you, that man's a menace. He's always drinking and starting fights."
That's like opening scene too, isn't it? Like
Yes, that's like the
beginning of the
first thing we
movie.
get. Yeah. And John just has to listen to him say all this
And
stuff
just like
about him. Do me a favor, pull your lip over your head and swallow.
I remember that one.
That's a good insult.
Yeah.
Um, Another one that was an interaction that was at the very beginning of the movie. Max is talking to John, and he says, "You know what Jacob said? Jacob said that old Billy Hensel was killed in a car crash, cleared his car straight off the bridge into the Mississippi." And John says, "Lucky bastard." And Max says, "You bet." And then John says, "Hey, how is he anyway?" And Max goes, "Dead. He died on impact." He said, "Jacob, moron, Jacob."
Dead. What do you mean?
Died on impact. Um, did you watch after the credits?
No, I didn't.
Okay, when Max is in the bathtub, there's after the credits, there's like a little scene, and it's just like Walter Matthau. He said, "If I'd known I'd be doing a nude scene, I'd have asked for another million."
Like as his character or just like
As Walter Matthau, I think.
That's hilarious. I missed that. I didn't watch that far.
The last two I've got are John. We did the horizontal mambo, just the classic old man sex joke. And then the part I think I'd already mentioned where John says, "A stroke's no good. You could end up like a vegetable. Give me a cardiac any day." Classic. Man after my own heart.
Classic. You know, we can't wait till we get to that age where we're just like wishing for a instant death.
I mean,
Stop. Moving on.
all right. Any other quotes that we missed?
I mean, yeah,
There's so many in this movie.
there's so many quick ones. I heard Jesus Quincy Adams at least once. I don't know. I mean, I never heard
Jesus
that
Quincy.
swear before, so I wrote that down. But
Jesus Quincy Adams. I had not heard that.
yeah,
I imagine that was Max that said that.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. No, he's the one in Dennis the Menace. Walter Matthau in Dennis the Menace says, "G damn it," or yeah, he says, "G damn it, Martha," or something like that. He doesn't say "God damn it," he says "G damn it." All right, biggest laugh, cry, scare, or thrill?
Let's see. I think that the laugh was during like that whole shanty in the pond and fight scene. Man, I was just laughing that whole time, and they just
The-
kept
The fish knife is great.
Fish and I kept it going.
The forgetting that they're arguing about is really funny to me.
And also kind of was like, it seemed like maybe just kind of a moment of clarity for both of them too. Like, why are we fighting all the
Mhm.
time? You know, there was kind of like just a brief glimpse of that
Yeah,
before they
I
like
get that.
went straight into it again. So, but it was very funny. You couldn't tell whether it was like them just like losing track and being winded and or like if they really were like, huh, why are we? Anyways,
I also wonder if like they just forgot their lines too.
it happens.
I don't know if you watch any of the outtakes in the credits or anything,
Yes.
but like Walter Matthau cannot remember his lines at all, and like Jack Levin's in the background, he's like, "It's like it's this, you dumbass!" Like,
Look sharp, you dumbass.
they've done 6 movies together, by the way.
Dang.
So
I saw a couple. I didn't know 6. Dang.
6 movies
That's awesome.
together. So thought
Tight.
that was pretty neat. Obviously, I think like the biggest cry or like sad part of this movie is when Chuck dies, and then also when John has his heart attack. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
it's on Christmas. There's a lot of emotions going on there. He's about to lose everything because of the taxes. His daughter's an idiot. Like all this stuff's going on. You just feel it a lot.
Our
during
heart
that
can only
scene.
take so much, you know?
Heart can, yeah, you're right. Heart can only take so much. Anything else that that we might be missing there?
I don't really know how to classify it. It's not really a thrill or a laugh, really, but one of my favorite, like, just short scenes was after the biblical knowledge was imparted between John and Ariel. His like morning after routine, where he's like, you know, cooking up his eggs with hot sauce and like dancing around the kitchen and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That was really funny.
That's my
To
best
me.
music moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because that's the is that the Otis Redding?
Otis
part?
Redding, Love Man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I jumped ahead. My bad.
That's okay. What's your most WTF moment or ridiculous moment?
Um, I don't know if it's a moment, but just more of okay. I had one moment, and then just kind of like a general WTF for the movie. At the end, when like the moving company is there to take all the shit out of the house, and they like open the door, it's like, oh, a couple of boards on the door. We're leaving.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what is happening here? He's got a hammer right there. Y'all can't just like
Just pry him off,
take,
you
like,
know?
5 minutes. Like, we're not getting paid for this. We're gone. Like,
Have
I
you
don't-
seen this feeble old man? I'm sure he didn't even put all the hammer or the nails in properly.
right? Like, come on. So that was just like, okay, that's a little bit forced. And then we've kind of already like talked about it some, but just like Ariel, like it's weird. Sure, it's a small town, but like, is this like her dating pool? Like, it's just
It's just 3 dudes.
3 guys. Like,
Yeah.
where's all the other bachelors? You know, like I don't know. It seemed a little. You have to suspend your disbelief, if you will.
Yeah, that she's not like searching. Well, maybe she went through all their houses, and this is where she finally decided to live.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe she did her mail prep work before.
I think I mean, we can't put it past her because she's a psychopath. But
Yeah, I'm just thinking like if she's going everywhere in town and like turning heads like that, like surely like there's some other. I mean, Jack Lemmon's a good-looking older guy, but surely there's
yeah,
like some,
where was she before this? I don't. I mean, I'm sure she said it in this, but
I'm sure she did. I don't know.
like for
She
her
said
to
she
move,
yeah, she said where she was teaching college, but I don't remember.
but for her to move to this small town in Minnesota, like surely, man. I mean, I'm
Minnesota's
just
not that far away, man.
I know, but like, where did she come from? Like, was she teaching it? Like, she seemed very like well-to-do and like kind of snobby a little bit. Like, she gives me very East Coaster vibes.
Yeah.
Like New York City kind of person. It just says
Why
that she
here?
was yeah, she's free-spirited English professor moving to the Midwest, like in the freezing cold. I don't know. I don't know.
But you gotta have it, you know. You gotta have a lady for them to fight over.
I guess. I mean, you won't have the movie without it, but yeah. No, the thing that I didn't like, besides her running out in the snow and being a complete crazy person, like, because when she went out into the snow, I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I literally was sitting here at my computer watching this, and I was like, what is this movie? Like, what is she doing? No, when he couldn't grab his fishing rod before it went into the hole, it really pissed me off.
Oh, because he had like all the time in the world.
Yes, I'm like, okay, I know it's Walter Matthau and he's 100 years old in this movie, but like, you've been fishing there with that rod for how many years, and you don't have like something you can like stick it in while you're, cooking something or doing whatever you need to do. You're telling me after all that time you don't have anything? Really pissed me off.
Maybe he was that was like his lucky rod or something, right?
It is
Maybe
his lucky rod, but
maybe he
like,
was just like, it's so lucky I don't have to.
I don't even
worry
have to
about
watch it. But he looked at it. That was
True.
the other thing.
True.
He looked at it and he was like, no, don't you
Don't
do
you-
it.
Don't you? No.
This is a visual podcast, so hopefully people can see it.
For all you listeners out there, that was a riveting moment that you'll never know about.
That you'll never know about. Sorry. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna do an F, Marry, Kill because I don't feel like I have enough care. I get and like I just went. All right, most
I just wanted to
dateable.
marry Pops, you know.
John Max and Pops. No, I've had most dateable here, and I split it into two: Melanie or Ariel, because they're the two women in this movie, and then
Yes.
John and Max. Who you picking out of all of them?
It's 100% Ariel. I don't know if there's a nice way to put this.
They all have flaws, like very glaring flaws.
Yeah. So every time I saw Melanie Hannah, what's her first name?
Daryl Hannah?
Daryl Hannah. Every time I saw Daryl Hannah, she looked so much like John Travolta in this movie. And I'm sorry, I know that's kind of rude. But man, it threw me every time I saw her. It was like she could be John Travolta's daughter. And I've seen her in other stuff, and she doesn't look like that as much. I don't know what it was about this movie. It was just like, man. So
you're not alone, by the way. I just typed in Daryl Hannah into Google, and one of the choices was John Travolta, like right after it. So you're not wrong.
It's not just me. That's good. That's
It is
good.
not just you. Wow. I never even thought about it. I guess I just think of her as Splash. I think of her from the movie Splash with Tom Hanks, and then Kill Bill. I think of her in Kill Bill especially.
Yeah, Kill Bill. I mean, not so much. I
It's
haven't
the
seen
iPhone.
Splash. I don't know that I've ever seen her in anything else that I remember. But in this, man,
Daryl Hannah looks
I-
like John Travolta.
all I could see. So for that reason, it has to be Ariel. Just because
Okay.
I'm not.
I think I
huge-
agree with you, but I will, I'll fight both fights here because, like,
Fight it.
Ariel is crazy. We've already talked about her invading personal space, and nobody knows if she's. I mean, if you're do who you want to do, I don't care who you're doing, right? She did Chuck. Who knows?
Well, he said they didn't though.
Right. But did they?
Mm,
I
you
love,
sure about
but
that?
So you sure about that? Also, I love that when they're about to have sex, her and John, he's like, "What about safe sex?" and everything's like,
Oh yeah, I forgot
and
about all
she's like, "When's the last time you had sex?" And he was like, 1972 or something like that. And she's like, "I think we're good.
that. We'll be safe. We'll be safe.
We'll be all right." So, no, Ariel, just that free spirited. She's all that is her downfall. Melanie is just a problem, I think, in that, and maybe it's because I feel like she's probably in like an abusive relationship with her husband. Maybe not like physically abusive or whatever, but I think he's an alcoholic. And like she keeps going back to him and stuff. Even though like that's a common thing. It's not like that's new or anything, but red flags go up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, John and Max, who you choosing?
That one's more difficult. I think it would be John, only for the fact that he seems a little more like active
Yeah,
and has maybe a little more longevity. But then he has a major heart event, so I don't know.
and he's just neurotic.
Yeah, very neurotic. I feel like Max is on the whole like wittier, funnier. So I could see both sides. Maybe it would just come down to the money then, and I would go
Yeah.
with Max.
I think watching this movie now, and this leads into my next one for best performance. When I was a kid and I saw this movie, I think I was a big Walter Matthau guy. Like, I thought anything that I saw Walter Matthau in, I was like, that guy's hilarious. Specifically Dennis the Menace, which we watched this year. Like, I just thought that Walter Matthau was amazing, and Jack Lemmon was fine and kind of nerdy or annoying. But now that I'm older and I've seen some more Jack Lemmon roles and stuff, like, I really like Jack Lemmon. I think he just given like, he always gives like a great performance. He was in that he was in that Shortcuts movie that we also watched earlier this year. And he's one of the best parts of that movie. And he's only in the movie for like 10 minutes total. But he's great in it at doing that. And there's some movies that I love of his from like the 60s and stuff that I just think are like perfect movies. But that leads into my next category. I would choose John, by the way.
Nice.
But I think the best performance for me is Jack Lemmon.
That's what I put as well.
Yeah.
I did say it was a slight edge over Walter Matthau. I think they're both, man, they gel together so wonderfully. But yeah.
I think Jack Lemmon could go toe to toe with more people. Like, he's very quick, like you said, really quick-witted, and still has it. And I feel like Walter Matthau has that too, but it's just like he lost his step just a little bit. But he's really good with Jack Lemmon. Like, they're impressive together.
Yeah, their tandem is pretty great.
Yeah,
Makes me want to watch the sequel 2 years from now.
Yeah, well, you have my permission to watch it whenever you want.
No, I'll wait.
Okay, we'll wait. I'll wait for you. All right, and I don't know if you saw my chat to everybody as we were typing, but they were in 10 movies together, not
10. Wow.
10 movies together. It's crazy.
That's a lot.
All going back from like 1968 to now. Or yeah. So, okay, recast. If you had to recast this movie, how would you do it?
I didn't do much. I did see something that was very intriguing and that I would love to see for 93 was that Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis were originally like considered for the tandem role there, and I was like,
Okay.
"Man, that would be cool." So that was the only thing I put down for 93.
Okay. Did you do any for 20? I didn't do anything for 20 or 1993 because I was just like, I think these guys are perfect.
Yeah, I agree, but I could definitely get down on the a substitute there with those two fellas. I've got a few for 03. So I put Susan Sarandon for the crazy Ariel.
Okay.
I think she would knock that out of the park. And then for my tandem, Max and John, I don't know who would be who, but I would love to see if it could still happen. I think one of these individuals is no longer acting, but Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
I didn't even think about
The
that.
Home
That's so
Alone
good.
guys coming back as the new grumpy old man.
That would be incredible.
Uh,
Oh man, I don't even know how old Joe Pesci is now.
I think he's like up there.
80. He's
Yeah.
80 years old.
And he's been like doing music for a long time from what I read. So because I was like, man, is that even possible?
Yeah.
But
No, I'm
would be
glad you went that route though, because I did the same thing. I didn't get those, but I was like, of course, you could always do like De Niro and Pacino, put them
sure.
together. I said Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I thought they could do it. I thought that'd be a pretty funny. Like they can both do comedy. I've seen them be funny before, and they're both curmudgeons. Like those guys are.
curmudgeonly.
Yes. I said Samuel L. Jackson and John, or I said Bruce Willis, but then he's not acting anymore. So, but now you just remind me, John Travolta. He's 69 years old. Samuel L. Jackson's in his 70s.
Dude, I love these two that are like kind of like they were in a film together before, just kind of like doing a different
See,
roles.
and Joe Pesci did this kind of the same thing with gosh, what's his name? Danny Glover. They had a similar, I think it was called Gone Fishing. But it was the same kind of formula. Yeah, called Gone Fishing. A buddy comedy, they're both together, but same kind of dynamic there. Also, I did I mentioned Susan Sarandon in here, Diane Keaton, Meryl Streep / Goldie Hawn. Maybe switch up the genders a little bit and do two grumpy old women.
Ooh.
Instead, have them fall in love with one hot old dude. I think that could be fun.
One hot old crazy dude.
Yeah, like throw a Pierce Brosnan across the street or something.
I would watch that.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think I've got some. I'm just gonna start writing it right now.
Can you still call him grumpy? Like, I feel like grumpy, like,
would it have a?
Is more of a. I'm not trying to gender words at this moment, but I guess I am. Would we use a different word other than grumpy for women?
I mean, if you call them grumpy or old, I don't know. I feel like those are both have different dynamics when you're calling it to a woman than you are to a man.
Right. Yeah. We'll have to workshop it.
Yeah, let's workshop the title.
Yeah. We'll take it to the writer's room.
I'll
We'll
take
get
it
back
to a
you guys.
I'll take it to a woman and see what she says.
There you go. That's what we
And
need.
yeah, we need a woman. So, but yeah, I thought that'd be pretty fun. Do a little gender swap.
Love it.
Let's do it. All right. Body count for this movie? 3.
Ooh. 3.
3.
Chuck.
Chuck. Who else died? I know I had this figured out.
Oh man, it's throwing me. Who else died?
Chuck.
Oh, her husband.
Her
Or what?
husband.
Are they counting that one?
Maybe I'm counting that, and then Billy Hensel, who killed in the car crash.
Oh. Love it. Oh man, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Good body count.
good body count there.
I approve.
What else do you did you have any things that you looked up or saw?
I don't have a lot of fun facts. I kind of slacked off on that this time. I've got 2 though.
Okay.
So I'll say my 2, and then you'll probably fill in a ton of others. If this is not super fun, but because of said film location, Walter Matthau got double pneumonia after filming and had to be hospitalized for
See,
quite some
Minnesota
time.
sucks.
Yeah. So that could be us after the plunge. 2025, double pneumonia coming at you.
I've had
Um,
pneumonia. It sucks.
But have you ever doubled it before?
I have never doubled it.
So
that could be a good. I
you
mean,
can either take it or you can double it and give it to the next person. So that's what we're going for.
double your pleasure, double the fun, double pneumonia, double mint gum.
I think that's it.
I
Which
think that's the-
actually, great segue into my second fun fact, which I was really glad that I found this because so at one point, Max is pranking John through the window. John's sitting down watching the lottery numbers go off. He's got his ticket in hand, super excited. Max is like over in his window with his own remote to John's TV and like changing the channel every time a number comes up, just to mess with him. But I was so confused. Every time he changed the channel, it was something just wild on the screen.
Uh-huh.
Like nothing else normal. He wasn't like cutting to a football game or a hockey game or something. But when I was reading through fun facts, all of the like cuts there where it goes to something else are old Little Caesars
Ads?
Oh. One of them, it
Oh.
was clear, was like Little Caesars, but the others was just like nonsense. And it was like, okay, Little Caesars was going wild back then, huh?
Wow. I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah.
Little
There's
Caesars.
my 2.
Speaking of Little Caesars, segue over to Little Nero's from Home Alone. Because when John applies aftershave, he mimics Macaulay Culkin's character Kevin from Home Alone.
Nice.
And then I said this is the they were in 10 movies together. That was one of mine. And then my last fun fact was Walter Matthau and Margaret and Burgess Meredith all worked with Elvis Presley in 3 separate films.
Dang.
Matthau was in King Creole, Viva Las Vegas, and Margaret was in Viva Las Vegas, and Burgess Meredith was in Stay Away Joe with Elvis. So little fun facts. They're all connected to Elvis there.
So
Keep that in your back pocket whenever you're playing the movie game.
That's what I was just thinking as you were literally saying that. Yeah. Elvis connecting people.
That's right. You'll blow people's minds with that.
Those deep cuts.
All right. I think we both like this movie.
Yeah.
We laughed.
We laughed.
And-
I laughed a lot.
What are a couple things that you wish you could change?
Just a little more depth to the female character. Other than like they established that she was interesting, and a lot of that was in a very weird way. But like she's got all this money. Like, why is Max paying for the house if she's got all this fortunes? Statues of her
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well
why
endowed deceased husband. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
can't he just move in with her, sell the house?
Sell the house. Yeah, she's got space.
She's
Maybe
got a sauna.
she's kind of a hoarder. You get that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That was the other. So I agree with you. A little bit more development of Ariel's what I've gotten her relationship with the both guys there. But yeah, like who cares about all this? I mean, take my house. I'll move in with you. You've got money. Like I thought that's the way it would end up, but instead of like trying to like getting money from Max and then getting money from other things, like I didn't really buy that part. I was like, it would make more
Yeah.
sense if they were really in love. Like I don't know.
Yeah. At that point, it was really like maybe overstepping
Yeah,
to emphasize that, like, hey, this is about their relationship, not him, falling in
getting
love
with
with this
her.
woman.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Too far. Too far.
I also said it's like an everyday comedy. It's not like amazing by any means, but I laughed a lot, so
Yep.
it was fine.
I wouldn't necessarily drop it to what the kids call mid now,
Mhm.
but I would say it is like run of the mill, nothing
Run of the mid.
outstanding. Run of the mid, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll coin it right here, right now.
Well, if you had to watch this movie with another movie, what would you choose?
I got two.
All right.
The first one's a little more obvious. I think it was a couple of years prior, maybe, or around the same time. But also Jack Lemmon with a lot of other dudes. Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah. Okay.
Very well.
12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men maybe would pair well. I don't know.
It's got men in it.
It's got, yeah. So two versus 12, like maybe it's 6 times as good. I don't know.
Grumpy and angry.
Oh, grumpy old. Okay, I see what's happening here. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Seven Dwarfs, where like each one has their own name. So like
Mhm.
one of them is grumpy, one of them is old. So 12 angry. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows what their names are?
It's a whole meniverse.
Meniverse.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I'm not touching that. But I am proud of my second pick a lot more.
Okay.
So thinking like frenemies that are unsure about their relationship the whole time, a woman coming into the mix that's kind of involved with both of them. Talladega Nights.
I love it. That's so good. Step Brothers would work too.
Yeah,
No woman in that one, but just
it's kind of like a very iconic pairing of two funny people too, that have done a lot together. So
ooh, that'd be a good grumpy old men. Is in maybe like 10 years or maybe
Yeah,
10,
let 'em-
15 years they do a comedy together.
let them age up a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be good. I
What
love
about you?
that. I said I went with obvious ones this time around. I said grumpier old men.
Nice.
The Odd Couple, which was what they were first in together, based on a Neil Simon play. That's kind of where we get. I think their names are Felix and it might be Max.
He's always Max, isn't he?
They're always no Oscar. Felix and Oscar is what their names are. But yeah, good movie with them in it. And then I also split it up a little bit. I was just to give mentions out. This is not pairings, but hey, if you're looking for a good movie, older movie, maybe you're looking for a movie that takes place around Christmas, you should watch Jack Lemmon in The Apartment. I think it's 1960. Really great movie. And then one I watched last year or this year, I don't remember when. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. The old 70s version, not the new one with Travolta. But Walter Matthau's in that, and he's really great in that movie. So just in case you want to split it up, see some other Lemon Matthau things, maybe without one another, check those out.
Is that one Christmas too?
No, it is not. But it's a good movie. Thriller.
I think I've seen the Travolta one.
I have not seen the Travolta one.
Yeah, I saw the one with Ariel in it. I mean, Melanie in it.
And if anybody wants to see Anne Margaret in anything, they should watch Bye Bye Birdie.
Bye Bye Birdie.
Or Viva Las Vegas. She's great in that movie too. She's a stone cold fox in her younger days.
You just love
Even in
those.
this movie. Rewatchability rating. What'd you give it?
I don't really have much negative to say about rewatchability because it did make me laugh a ton. So 3.5.
Nice. I gave it a 4. I was like, yeah, if this movie's on, I'm going to sit down, probably watch a 10 minutes of it at least.
Yeah. As long as it's uncensored, I'm good.
Yes, has to be uncensored. I don't want any of that censored stuff. Overall star rating?
Also 3.5.
3.5 here. I think I think that's what Spencer gave it too. It's a 3.5. So it's a 3.5 kind of movie, guys.
Yeah. So right there, good average, lots of laughs.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
I had a good time.
No
and
regrets.
that's what really matters.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. That's Grumpy Old Men. We went off on some tangents, and we are going to the Grumpy Old Men Festival in 2025 after we watch Grumpier Old Men. So we've got that planned. Joseph, thank you so. What?
I'm sorry. It just dawned on me. I gotta plug this. Now you have to do your stream from Minnesota.
From Minnesota? Okay.
At the festival for that movie.
Done. Easy.
On the books.
Already done. It's already scheduled. Flights
it's already scheduled.
We're in. I bought the tickets while I was on the stream, so we're good. But
don't tell your sister until the last minute.
I will not. Joseph, thank you so much for doing this with me this year. You're awesome. And I really appreciate it. Have you watched anything recently that you want to talk about?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I have been slacking. We did recently start watching season 1 of The Bear, which has been pretty good so far. It's pretty tumultuous and graphic, but it's been fun.
Okay.
The only movie that I've watched since the last time I was at the theater with my best friend is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, okay. What'd you think?
I've seen it several times before, and it popped up on my feed, and I was like, huh, I haven't watched that in probably like 6 or 7 years, and it was about as good as I remembered. It's very very artistic and beautiful.
I think I watched that as a part of my 365 for the first time ever.
Oh, nice.
And I freaking loved it. So I've got it back there in the VHSs. So
hey, wait, has the VHS even been playing this whole time?
Yeah.
What is it?
Grumpy Old Men.
Oh, well, dang.
Classic. Well, okay.
Give me some good.
Man, I've been watching Christmas movies. That's really what I've been doing. Although I did watch a Christmas movie I had not watched previously, and it was the old Black Christmas from 1974. I would definitely recommend that one, especially for you. You're a horror fan, so watch Black Christmas. There's been 2 remakes of it, apparently. Didn't know that. One in like 2006 and another one like 3 years ago.
I was about to say one is fairly recent.
So we've got some love for the new Grinch movie in the chat. New Grinch movie's amazing, apparently. And another movie I watched for the first time recently is called Sexy Beast. Since we watched Schindler's List this year with Ben Kingsley in it, I was like, yeah, let me watch this other Ben Kingsley movie. And he could not be farther from what he was in Schindler's List. So I do recommend that. It's a little bit of Guy Ritchie Snatch-esque kind
Okay.
of movie, but a little bit more artsier, I would say, in its delivery. So Sexy Beast is a really good movie from, I think 2000 is when that one came out. So those are the ones I would definitely recommend. Muppet,
Is Ben Kingsley the sexy beast?
I think he's among them.
Okay.
I think there's a couple sexy beasts in that.
Okay.
It's full of beasts. But like I said, this is the penultimate episode of 1993, meaning we have one more movie left. Da, 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 da. And that movie is In the Name of the Father, and it is streaming on nothing except for video on demand. You can always rent it through Amazon, Apple, all of your places that you do that. I haven't been able to find it in any other ways, but I'll keep looking. And if I do find it, I'll put it out there in my probably Discord or among my friends, and then check that out. Speaking of all those things, if you haven't, you can go to I am on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I've got a Discord. You should follow me on any and all of these. I'd really appreciate it, because we're going to do this again next year, except for 1994, and it's going to be great. And the more participation, the better it'll be. So we'll see you next Wednesday, I believe. So have a good Christmas, happy holidays, and be safe. And we'll see you next week for In the Name of the Father here on 52/1993. Y'all have a good holiday. See you later.
Happy holidays.